Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. And you know what? We are finally here. We are at the finals of the Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown. I am here with our 4 finalists, along with Marissa, to run through this game. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and introduce our contestants, starting with our lovely host. Let's give it up for Miss Marissa.
Hey guys.
Marissa, what are you drinking today?
Today I have Starbucks coffee.
Because we are recording this on a Saturday morning. Your 4th place contestant, your 4 seed coming into today's game is my lovely wife, Leah.
Hello, we are recording, right? You hit the record button?
We are recording.
Okay. It's customary for me to ask these questions before we get going.
One time.
There's no precedent for that not happening or anything.
Right. And I am drinking water from a cute little mason jar-y kind of cup that I really like.
It's a jelly jar.
A jelly jar. It's a jelly jar. I'm drinking it out of a jelly jar that I really like.
And now Maggie will have one less jelly jar in her cabinet.
That's okay.
Your 3 seed coming into this is going to be Cody. Cody, what are you drinking?
Hello, everybody. I'm drinking a special bottle of Weller's, the Special Reserve, sharing it with Chris.
It's so damn good. Your 2 seed heading into the tournament is Maggie. Everyone say hello as she pumps her fists in the air.
Hi, everybody. I'm drinking Earl Grey tea this morning.
That's Abby. Your 1 seed heading into the tournament. He came through with 25 points. Give it up for Mr. Mike Mott.
Hey, everybody! As you might have heard, Abby is drinking water. I've got my little fan club here today. I've got my Basset Hound Romeo. I've got my lovely wife Nikki, and I've got my daughter Abby. Some long-time listeners of the podcast might remember Abby, and from a sound perspective, if you can hear her in the background, it would sound like little has changed in the past year. But as for me, I'm actually drinking, and as I logged this on Untapped, I found out it is apparently no longer in production, so get it while you can, because it's very good. The brewery is called the Horny Goat, because of course it is. And the beer in question is the Chocolate Peanut Butter Imperial Porter.
Oh, that sounds good.
And yes, I'm going Imperial because I can't do trivia sober, and it is 50 degrees here in Alabama today, this morning, so I feel
jealous,
justified in that choice.
As we all collectively said, oh, depressively.
It's like 80 outside.
I'm sweating sitting inside, so.
I lost my fan clubs, so advantage everyone else.
So everyone, this is how today's game is going to work. Before I pass this over to Marissa, we've got a unique game for you today. We're going to start, as always, with our opening round. Our opening round is going to be 1 minute long for each contestant. They're going to get through as many trivia questions as they can, the same way they came into the Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown is how we're going to start this round off. Marissa's got a stack of questions. They get as many as they can get right. After the opening round, we have got 4 rounds of trivia, 4 questions per round. And the nice thing is, each of these pop culture trivia questions was written by someone who did not make the finals of the Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown. We also have a special halftime round presented by Mr. Jeffrey. He wrote a nice little halftime question for us. And then as we get into your final round, after round 4, your final round is 5 questions. You can wager anywhere from 0 to 20 points on each of those 5 questions. Yes, I did steal that from Triviality. Sorry, guys. You run a great show. We're stealing it for today.
Shout out to Triviality.
Major shout out to Triviality, who just, unfortunately, they were up for the podcast awards for Best Game Show, and they did not win, but I stand by them. I think they are a phenomenal podcast and a hell of a lot of fun. I wish they drank a little bit more, but that's me.
I wish they swore a little more, too.
Yeah, they bleep out their swearing. But we all know Neil can drop some F-bombs, I'm sure. All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to pass it over to Marissa to get this game started, and I'm going to shut up.
Woohoo!
All right, guys. We're going to do 1 minute rounds each. And who we're going to have go first?
So we're going to start from your 4 seed to your 1 seed. So we're going to go Leah, followed by Cody, followed by Maggie, then Mike.
All right, Leah, are you ready for your 1 minute?
Yes, I am.
I'm just waiting on the...
Chris, are you ready with
Chris.
the timer?
I just wish that wasn't the first time she heard that this year.
Sorry, that was good.
Okay. Leah, your time will begin after Marissa reads the first question.
Okay. All right, Leah, here we go. What color was the original iPod?
White.
What Jan Martel novel tells the story of a teen and a tiger in a lifeboat?
A Life of Pi.
What term did host Bob Eubanks use on the Newlywed Game instead of making love?
Making whoopee?
As teenagers, what folk duo performed under the name Tom and Jerry?
No idea.
What actress is the daughter of Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler and model?
Liv Tyler.
Okay. What car company produced the El Camino?
No idea.
What comic strip characters included a scruffy cigarette-smoking cook named Cookie Jowls?
No idea.
What movie coined the phrase "Hasta la vista, baby"?
Terminator.
What Pharrell Williams song was the best-selling single of 2014?
Happy?
Whose presidential campaign slogan was "A chicken in every pot and a car in every garage"?
Ford.
All right, and how many did Leah get correct?
2.
Okay. On card number 1, Leah got 1, 2, 3, 4 on card 1. And on card 2, I wanted to give her 2, but
Terminator is not the correct
yeah,
answer.
it's not the right answer.
It's Terminator
So 1.
2.
Terminator 2.
T2.
I was going to yell if you guys gave her that one.
So she has a total of 5.
So Leah starts off the opening round with 10 points.
Good start.
Oh, because they're 2 points. Got it. Okay.
All right, Cody, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going as a 3 seed, right?
You're the 3 seed.
Are we going to know which ones we get correct?
Afterwards, she'll tell you which
Oh,
one she got
after.
correct.
Oh, do you want me to tell you which ones?
Yes.
I don't need to know which ones I got correct.
If it helps us answer more questions, maybe we wait till the
But by the way, for the trivia people out there, Tom and Jerry was Simon and Garfunkel.
Yes, that is correct.
That's what I figured.
Oh.
Do you want me to go through the
Yeah,
wish?
just real quick, which one she
All
got
right.
right?
We got what color was the original iPod? White, you got that correct. The Life of Pi, you got correct. Making Whoopi from the Newlywed Game, you got correct.
I didn't know that was a guess.
Liv Tyler
That's a
is,
good
in
guess.
fact, Steven Tyler's daughter. And Pharrell Williams did release Happy in 2014. All
Good job.
All right, and Cody is up.
right, Cody, here we go.
Let's go.
We got a timer?
You don't need to start it yet.
It will begin after you hear your first question.
TWA was acquired by American Airlines in 2001. What did TWA stand for?
No idea.
In this poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," what danced in the heads of the children nestled all snug in their beds?
Sugar plums?
Correct. Who played a farm boy turned bartender on Cheers?
Ted Danson?
What city does the band Rush hail from?
Montreal.
Incorrect. What judge presided over the O.J. Simpson trial?
Ito.
Ito, yes, correct. What video game characters included a desert cardinal named Red and a wild canary named Chuck?
No idea.
The theft of what Leonardo da Vinci painting in 1911 caused the media sensation?
No idea.
Who were the 3 judges on the final season of American Idol?
No idea.
What Pink Floyd album cover depicts a ray of light being dispensed through a prism?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Correct. What civil rights leader delivered the famous I Have a Dream speech?
Martin Luther King Jr.
What non-stick chemical was first used in cooking pots and pans during the late
Teflon.
1950s? Correct.
And that is the end of Cody's minute.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Today, Cody got Teflon correct. He got Dark Side of the Moon, Martin Luther King Jr., and Sugar Plums, as well as Lance Ito in the O.J. Simpson trial.
So Cody got 5. That puts him at 10.
You looked like you wanted to say Ito something, like Ito was his first name.
No.
Got that too.
No one remembers the Lance part.
Right.
No one should remember Lance.
For the last name of Ito, the first name of Lance just
it's
doesn't match up.
So strange.
It doesn't. All right,
Oh,
Maggie.
Gosh, this is not
Can we go over the ones he got wrong?
All right, we're going to do Leah's cards first. What car company produced the El Camino? That was
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet. What comic strip characters included this scruffy cigarette-smoking cook named Cookie Jowls?
Cartoon, you said?
Yeah,
Comic strip.
it's a comic strip.
Oh, comic strip. Is it Dagwood?
Beetle Bailey? I've
I
never
only
heard
know
of
the
it.
Peanuts, so I knew it was the Peanuts.
Hasta la Vista was coined in
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You'll never forget that now.
Whose presidential campaign slogan was "A chicken in every pot and a car in every garage"?
Is it FDR?
No.
Sounds like Oh.
It was Hoover.
Hoover?
Hoover.
Screw you, Mike Mott.
But Ford was
Quit
a good
showing
guess,
off.
right? Because Ford cars, get it?
TWA stands for Trans World Airlines. These are Cody's cards. Who played a farm boy turned bartender on Cheers?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
What city does the band Rush hail from?
Toronto.
Toronto. That is correct.
Come on, man.
What video game character included a desert cardinal named Red and a wild canary named Chuck?
Angry Birds?
That is Angry Birds.
That's a video game? Oh,
Good Lord.
arcade?
The theft of Leonardo da Vinci painting in 1911 caused a media sensation.
Mona
That is the
Lisa?
Mona Lisa.
Can you name
Never
another
heard of it.
Leonardo da Vinci painting?
Last Supper.
Who were the last judges on American Idol?
Steven Tyler?
No.
Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez.
Was
Lionel Richie. No.
Keith Urban?
Keith Urban.
Oh.
No, that's before the revival. Lionel Richie was after.
This is how Mike talks.
And
This is
Harry
what he
Connick Jr.
What a dumb show.
And that's all we got.
does. All right, Maggie,
I'm nervous. Oh,
you're up.
okay.
How many flavors of ice cream does Baskin Robbins serve?
33?
30. Nope, that's incorrect. What does Clark Kent do for a living and where does he work?
He's a newspaper reporter at the newspaper?
What does MASH stand for?
Pass.
What eccentric and reclusive music producer was convicted of murdering actress Alana Clarkson?
Pass.
Which U.S. president scooped ice cream at Baskin Robbins as a teenager?
Pass.
What city was the home of the first Starbucks?
Seattle.
Correct. What famous New York art museum was designed by architect Frank Lloyd Wright?
The Met.
Incorrect. Jack Nicholson won his first Oscar for what role in what film?
The Shining.
Incorrect. Buddy Holly, John Denver, and Patsy Cline are all famous musicians. What else do they have in common?
They died in plane crashes?
Correct. In 2009, who placed third at the Indianapolis 500, the highest finish by a female driver?
Danica Patrick.
Correct. Merchandise 7X is the secret ingredient in what soft drink?
7-Up.
No, incorrect.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right, Maggie,
This is
your
terrible.
questions were ridiculously hard.
Yeah, those were really hard.
I appreciate that, Mike.
I want to try and go on Maggie's here real quick. I think I had a couple of those.
Baskin Robbins?
I was
Other
thinking
than Baskin
32.
Robbins, that
Oh
one.
my god.
How
It's 32, right?
31.
31.
31.
They have introduced over time 1,300 different flavors.
All right.
Where does Clark Kent work and what does he do?
He's a reporter at the Daily
Daily
Planet.
Bugle.
Daily
Oh.
Planet, that's correct.
What's the Daily Bugle?
Daily Bugle.
No,
Is that
that's
something
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man, yeah.
Rats.
What does MASH stand for?
Military.
It's mobile something hospital.
Right.
Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
Ugh.
Would not have gotten that.
Phil Spector
Phil Spector.
was convicted of
I
killing
thought
Lana
of it
Clarkson.
like 2
I
seconds
was
after.
shocked you got that one. wrong.
I couldn't believe that one you didn't get.
I know.
What president scooped Baskin Robbins as a teenager?
Bill Clinton?
No, it was Jimmy.
Carter?
Think recent.
Bush?
Obama?
Obama, that makes sense.
You got Starbucks. The Frank Lloyd Wright designed what New York?
Guggenheim.
The Guggenheim.
Guggenheim.
Jack Nicholson won for what film and what role?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Correct.
As, what's his character's name?
I couldn't pull it up either. I was like,
Oh.
if I have to have both, I would never get it.
It's okay. I read the
McMurphy?
question wrong.
McMurphy.
McMurphy, right?
Oh, Murphy, that's right.
Do you want to know why I got that? It's the musical Next to Normal. When she's singing about going crazy towards the end of the movie, when she's having her mental breakdown, she's haven't I seen this movie with McMurphy and the nurse? I'm like, yes, that's how I know.
Nurse Ratchet.
Nurse Ratchet.
Nicely done.
Y'all
Nice.
should read the book, by the way. The movie's great, but the book is even better.
It's the
I think
second-
it's in my stack that's currently sitting on my bookshelf that's higher than my lamp.
The narrator is Chief, so the whole time it's from his point of view.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
great.
I will have to read that actually.
And the final one, Merchandise 7X, is the secret ingredient in what soft drink?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
So weird.
I thought it was a trick question because 7. I was like, 7? I don't know. What do I know?
I would have guessed the same thing.
Maggie got 3.
Oh, man. This is not going well for me.
It's the opening round. You're fine.
All right.
And we're here to Mike.
All right, Mr. Mike Mott.
Because Mike's in first place, we're only giving him 30 seconds.
Yes.
That seems fair.
All right. You ready to go, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm gonna let him eat that because I don't. Yeah.
All right, here we go. What green fuzzy creature is the official mascot of the Philadelphia Phillies?
The Philly Fanatic.
Correct. On what street does Sherlock Holmes live?
Oh, Baker Street?
Correct. Who shot JR?
I don't remember. Pass.
What was Nirvana's final album before Kurt Cobain's suicide?
In Utero.
Correct. Who was O.J. Simpson's lead defense attorney during his murder trial?
Johnny Cochran?
Correct. What famous industrial designer created the Shell logo?
Oh, pass.
What was the first book in the Little House on the Prairie series?
Little House on the Prairie?
No, incorrect. What TV series celebrated its 2000th episode with a visit from the Queen Elizabeth?
Doctor Who?
Incorrect. What jazz saxophonist was nicknamed Bird?
Pass. Robert Parker.
Correct. Okay. What movie legend donated the profit from the sales of his salad dressing to charity?
Paul Newman.
Correct. What did Crayola add to their 64-piece crayon box in 1958?
Pass.
A sharpener.
Okay, so he already passed on
sharpener.
that one. He already passed on Robert Parker. He does not get credit for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't have got that one.
On the first card, the only one you got incorrect was Who Shot JR, and that is Kristen Shepard.
Okay, yeah. I could tell you the series, but I couldn't tell you who it actually was.
What famous industrial designer created the Shell logo, and that is Raymond Loewy?
Oh, Raymond Lilly, of course, household name.
Right, of course. The first book in the Little House on the Prairie series is Little House in the Big Woods.
Okay.
Obviously.
The TV series with a visit from the Queen on his 2000th episode was
Is it EastEnders?
Coronation Street.
Coronation Street, yeah. It's a famous English show.
Jazz saxophonist is Charlie Parker.
I guess I said it wrong anyway. I said Robert Parker.
Yeah.
So.
Crayola added a sharpener to their box in 1958.
And your time to review the questions is also up.
Exactly.
And Mike also got 5.
Okay, so heading into the first round, your scores are a 3-way tie for first place with Cody, Leah, and Mike, 10 points each. Maggie sitting in fourth with 6 points.
Damn it.
That is harder than I thought it would be, like, delivering questions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you did that.
Because you're on a time crunch, so you want to say
and I'm
fast.
like, I'm trying to be fast for them, and I'm just like...
It's hard.
So this is how the rounds are going to work. Rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each correct answer is going to be worth 10 points. The halftime is worth 20 with 4 possible answers. So each correct answer in halftime will give you 5 points. Each question that we have here, Marissa will tell you who wrote the question and give you the category along with the question. All right, are we ready to jump into the round 1?
All right.
Ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, round 1.
Maggie seemed very non-committal there.
Question number 1 comes from our favorite Chicagoan, Jeffrey.
I'm personally a fan of Chris Bryant, but Jeffrey's a close second.
Question number 1 is coming from Jeffrey. Your category is being a kid again. Your question: what character from the Jungle Book teaches Mowgli about the bare necessities?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Cody, it's up to you. Talk it out.
I give my answer.
Do you know what the answer
You can
is?
talk it out. You can.
I do not know the answer. Would you like me to talk that out?
Please.
Take a
You're
guess.
more than welcome to.
I know it's a bear. I believe it's a bear. I know the song. I don't know his name.
Good, need a name.
The bear.
Okay, Cody's locked in with the bear.
All right.
Bear the bear. Good guess.
Bear.
No, it's good.
All right, Leah, what'd you have?
Oh, I don't know if this is right, but I said Baloo.
Okay. Maggie, what'd you have?
I said Baloo, too.
Okay. Mike, what'd you have?
Voiced by Bill Murray, I believe, in the remake, or the live action version, which I actually haven't seen, but it is
It's
Baloo.
fantastic. The live action is fantastic.
I've heard it's really good. I just
Yes.
haven't.
You don't take points off of spelling, right?
No.
'Cause
I think it's
And-
just BALOO.
that's okay.
I think
how
that's what I
spelled
wrote
it.
down. I think
Perfect.
that's correct.
It is BALOO.
It's the name of my brother's dog.
Oh.
Tom's, but
And your correct answer for question number 1 is Baloo.
woohoo.
He was a bear.
He was a bear.
It was a bear.
Yes. Hence the bare necessities.
BEAR.
It's a pun. I just got that.
Sweet.
Everyone gets points but Cody.
Sweet.
Question number 2 comes from Jeff T. And your category is advertising. During the 70s and 80s, what brand of beer encouraged people to head towards the mountains?
Locked in.
Locked in.
I'm not going to read too much into the men being able to lock this in quickly.
The man who's about to open his second beer before 11 o'clock in the morning.
Leah's like squeezing her brain.
Hey, there's a baby in there. Be careful.
The brain.
That's not where the baby is, Chris.
Yeah, do we need to talk about anatomy here, Chris?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Shoot. Locked in, I guess.
All right, Maggie is locked in. Leah, talk it out.
Okay. The only thing I don't know anything about beer, but I'm picturing a silver can with mountains on the can. So that's what I'm picturing in my head. I'm just trying to figure out what that would be. So first I said like Michelob, but then I was like, but there's different kinds of Michelob, right? So I wasn't really sure about that. And then I thought, for some reason, Miller, because I think there's like a Miller Park baseball field, and I feel like it's like in the mountains somewhere. So again, Miller, I don't know if Miller has various kinds of beer, so I just said Miller Lite, and that's what I went with on my paper. But I have no idea if any of that is even accurate. It's just what I was picturing.
So Miller Park is in Milwaukee?
Do they have mountains there?
No.
Okay, never mind. I get it. I'm not going to get the beer question anyway.
All right,
so
we've got Leah locked in with Miller. Cody, would you lock in with?
I wrote Coors down originally, crossed it out, and put Bush.
Okay. And Maggie, would you lock in with?
I had a hard time with this too. I don't know anything about beer, but I was just thinking Coors. I wrote down Coors.
Okay. And Mike Mott, would you lock in with?
I wrote down Coors and did not cross it out, so I stuck with Coors.
Ooh.
Is Coors have a park in the mountains?
Coors Park is in Denver, yeah.
Oh, Denver. Okay.
Your correct answer is Busch Beer.
Wow, nicely done.
All right. Question number 3 comes from Scott, and your category is current events.
Uh-oh.
What band issued a copyright strike against President Trump's Twitter account for sharing a meme with their music playing in the background?
Locked in.
This is so recent.
Very recent.
Oh, very recent.
It's a band?
Yes.
Yeah. Abby's crying because she saw the band that Daddy wrote down.
All right, I'm locked in.
Locked in with the wrong answer.
All right, Maggie, talk it all out.
Oh, man. You said it's recent in the last couple of days. Like, I don't watch the news. There's no way I would know who this is. And bands? I couldn't even name a current band. I'm just going to take a wild guess. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh, Jared Leto.
I mean, Jared Leto would say something.
No clue.
All right, we've got Maggie with 30 Seconds to Mars. Cody, what you lock in with?
I have the wrong answer, but I wrote down Metallica. I remember the story, I just can't remember the
We've got
details.
Cody with Metallica. And Leah, what do you have?
I do not know the story. I don't remember anything, but I sometimes like to see what things are trending on Twitter. And I saw Nickelback was trending for some reason recently. So I just put Nickelback on there, and I figured that would be something that would be funny.
We've got Leah with Nickelback. And Mike, what do you have?
Look at this photograph! It is definitely Nickelback.
It is 100% Nickelback.
Good job.
He literally made a meme with the photograph music video, and it got pulled
Wow.
so
Yep.
fast.
Wow.
There's no one sleeping in this house, right?
I didn't mean to scream.
Okay, good job, guys. Okay, question number 4 comes from myself. And your category is Millennial TV.
Oh, fuck.
Can we have a definition of what defines a millennial?
Not me.
Born between 1982 and 1994.
Yeah, I think the cutoff is age 34, right? Something like that.
It's 82 to 94.
Okay.
Name the popular YouTube TV show that interviews guests while they eat progressively spicy chicken wings.
Locked in.
Shit! Oh, shit. Is everyone else locked in but me?
No.
No.
And this, I don't feel like I'm a millennial because I don't know this either.
I've actually seen this show, and I still can't think of what it's called.
I'm never going to get it, so I'm locked in with the wrong answer. So, Mike, you can talk it out.
It's hot something. and I don't know what the something is, so I'm just going to say Hot Ones. Because that was the first thing popped into my head.
Damn you and your guess.
All right, Mike's got locked in with Hot Ones. Maggie, would you lock in with?
It's Hot Ones.
And Cody?
It's Hot Ones. We've seen almost every episode.
Leah, would you lock in with?
Too Hot to Trot.
Nope. Your correct one is Hot Ones.
That's a better title, actually.
Throwing it out to the Spice Lords.
I'm actually going to say I like Leah's guess better than mine, and I wish it was correct.
Yeah.
All right, what's our score update?
As we head into round 2, your scores are: in first place, Mike with 40. Tied for second place, Cody and Leah with 30. And in third place, Maggie with a really close 26.
All right, great job, guys. Going into round 2. Your question number 1 from round 2 comes from Joel. Your category is music adjacent. Taylor Swift grew up on a 15-acre farm in Pennsylvania that produced which seasonal holiday product?
Locked in.
I'm going to lock in with a wrong guess.
Yeah, I'm locking in with the wrong guess, too.
Me too. I think it's really, like, the first thought was pumpkins, but I ended up locking in with Christmas trees. Because it's Pennsylvania.
We've got Maggie with Christmas trees. Leah, what do you got?
I said mistletoe.
Mistletoe for Leah. What do you got, Cody?
I went with Christmas trees also.
And Mike, what do you have?
Well, Taylor, if this is wrong, we are never, ever, 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 ever getting back together. I also wrote Christmas tree.
And your correct answer is Christmas trees.
Woo!
Nicely done. Way to pull that out of your yes.
Good job.
Yeah.
I love Taylor Swift.
That's a Taylor Swift song, right? Like,
Yes, never,
Never,
yeah.
ever getting back together. Yeah.
I'm not hip to the musics of today, so I'm always worried that I'm making the wrong references.
Back to December is her best song.
Yes, it is. You can tell a teenager lives in this house. She just walked by and
Slam
the
the door.
All right, question number 2 comes from Chris. And your category is movies.
Yes.
What 2000... Ooh. Was somebody going to say something?
No, I just said gulp.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
What 2004 film is the highest grossing R-rated film of all time at the domestic box office with a total gross of $370 million?
Sorry, you guys probably picked that up. My wife's sitting here snapping at me.
Cody has taken off his headphones to think.
What year was this?
2004.
And what was the amount of money?
The total domestic gross was $370 million.
And it's still the highest grossing R-rated movie?
Correct.
Shoot.
Locked in.
This is a good question, Chris.
Yeah, this is a really good question. I like this a lot.
Shoot.
I feel like this should have come up before, but it hasn't.
I know. I kind of feel the same way.
So when I started my trivia bank, this is one of the first questions I wrote. Because it's such an oddball fact that it's like, this is actually pretty good. And I've been waiting for the right time to drop it in somewhere. This seems to be it.
No, this is perfect. Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did Mike just say I have a perfect dick?
Ooh, okay.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Sorry, Mom.
Does your mom actively listen?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. My wife is sitting over here doing a happy dance because she knows this one. And this is going to be one of those that as soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, yep. In my defense, I was in grad school in 2004, so it's a little bit of a blur. And she worked at the movie theater. Son of a bitch.
I'll lock in, but I have no clue.
Cody and Maggie are locked in.
All right, I guess I'm between 2, but I think one makes more sense, so I'll lock in.
All right, Mike.
I can't even. I'm just drawing a total blank. I can't even try. I'm trying to think what would have been 2004, 2005 is a little bit of a blur for me for a various number of reasons, not all of which are alcohol related. I think I'm just gonna pass. I just cannot even pull. I can't even pull anything up. I'm drawing a total blank. So I'm gonna pass. I got nothing.
All right, guys. Since the man who wrote the question is sitting right here, he's going to give you the answer.
Well, let's see what everybody went with. And Mike, before we allow you to answer with nothing, I'm going to say that you are going to crucify yourself for getting this one wrong.
Oh, I already know that's going to happen for sure.
Cody, what did you say?
Was that a clue?
Goddamn bitch!
Passion of the
That's
Christ?
exactly what it fucking is.
Cody, what did you lock in with?
Avatar.
That was PG-13? Okay. Maggie, what did you lock in with?
I put Batman Begins. I have no idea what year that movie came.
Also PG-13.
Leah?
Okay, so I was in college, and I watched a lot of, like, crude humor movies at that time, so I started listing, like, old school, Dodgeball, Anchorman. I know they all kind of came out around that same time, but I couldn't think of which one would have made more money out of all of those, so I kind of crossed those out. I thought Gladiator, but that was 2000 or 1999 or something like that, so I crossed that out. And then I started thinking about, like, scary movies, and I couldn't name, like, a scary movie because they're usually rated R. And then I finally got to Passion of the Christ because I remember going back to my hometown one weekend from college because our church had rented out the entire movie theater and, like, multiple showings so that we could all sit there. So I was like, that would make sense because I know a lot of other churches did that too, so that would have been making the more money for the movies. So that was my best guess, so that's what I went with.
And your correct answer, $370 million of the domestic box office is The Passion of the Christ. It has held off in recent years Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and It Chapter 2, along with the original It.
Oh, those are the ones
I
behind
honestly
it?
would have guessed Deadpool without the year.
Me too. I was thinking Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool 1 got closest, I think.
Yeah.
It got to like 13 million within it, but it did not surpass it.
Yikes.
Never mind. I'm not even going to say anything.
That was a tricky one. That was a good one.
That was a really good one. And you're absolutely right, Chris. As soon as all you had to do was say crucify, and I was like, well, it's either Jesus or John Lennon, since he wrote a song featuring the words crucify me. So,
All right, let's keep going.
All right. Round 2, question number 3 comes from the lovely Nikki. And your category are the Oscars. The first Academy Awards were first presented in what decade? Bonus 2 points if you can give the exact year.
locked in.
Locked in.
So this is like when it was broadcasted?
Not broadcasted. What year did it first begin?
I locked in, but I don't know. Took a guess.
All right, Leah, mull it over.
Oh my gosh, because I'm thinking, I know they're really high up there. I was thinking it was like the 90th Academy Awards recently, but I was like, that would make it the 1900s? And were we making movies in the 1900s? That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to say, so I'm thinking the earliest movies that I remember were like the 30s, but maybe the 20s. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the 30s, 1930s.
And what year?
Oh, you had to do the actual year?
Well, if you want bonus points.
For bonus.
Oh, well, I probably didn't even get the decade right, but I guess I'll say 1932.
Okay, Maggie, what'd you lock in with?
I locked in with 30s as well, and I guessed 33.
And Cody?
30s. 1928. I'm hedging my bet.
I was going to say he's hedging.
Wait a minute. Can you do that?
Yes, you can. And Mike, what did you lock with?
So, Cody's very close. Brief story time. Nikki and I actually had the opportunity to see this movie live. Not live. Movies aren't live, but we saw it in the theater, in the Tampa theater with live, it's a silent movie, so it had live musical accompaniment. The movie that won Best Picture that year, which was Wings. And I am fairly certain the year was 1927, but, I guess we're going to have Nikki give the actual answer if she remembers it.
And what decade did you go with?
What's that?
What decade did you go with?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, since I guess Cody. Yeah, I said the 1920s, and then I said specifically 1927.
All right, we're going to let Nikki give us the answer.
Well, okay. I mean, I might have phrased the question wrong, but yeah, like, it is 1927 is when the movie came out, but the Oscars were in 1929. It was for the 1927-1928 Oscars, but the Oscars were presented, the actual award was presented in 1929.
We did say presented.
We did.
We did.
Nope, yep, absolutely fair point. No bonus points for Mike.
But it was the 1920s.
And she did that on purpose, by the way. I know my wife.
No, that's good.
Good job, Nikki.
Good job, Nikki. Sucky job for us.
All right, question number 4 comes from Jeffrey G., my husband. And your category is Disney.
Ugh.
What real-life shoe brand was satirically included in the 1990s Disney movie Hercules?
Oh, shit. Oh. I'm locked in.
I'll lock in with a guess.
Are we allowed to hear the question again?
Yeah.
What real-life shoe brand was satirically included in the 1990s movie, Disney movie Hercules?
Locked in.
And Leah, go ahead and work this one
It's
out.
been a very long time since I've seen that. So I think it came out in like the early 90s. So I'm torn between two. I put Nike down because I think Nike was a Greek god or goddess. I don't know. Boy, girl. I don't know. So I thought that would make sense because Hercules was Greek. But then I also thought, well, maybe like Air Jordan because that was so big in the early 90s because of Michael Jordan. But that wouldn't, I guess, like, do well over time, I guess. So I guess I'm going to go with Nike just because it makes more logical sense for overtime.
Okay, we've got Leah locked in with Nike. Cody, what'd you lock with?
I went in with Adidas.
And Maggie.
I locked in with Nike.
And Mike, what'd you lock?
So if it's Adidas, I'm going to be upset because that was my initial gut was to say Adidas, but then thanks to my dear friend Allison Sharp, I remembered that. Excuse me, Allison Blateau. I still think of her as her maiden name. I know that Nike is the Greek goddess of victory, so I went with Nike.
And your correct answer is Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. They so fear and the two little monsters. I can't remember the demons. It's fear and something else. I can't remember his name.
Nikki says fear and pain.
Fear and pain. Yes, fear and pain's correct. They came back to Hades and they're wearing Air Herc sandals and tennis shoes after Air Jordan, Air Herc.
But that's not the answer?
It is. Nike is your answer.
Oh, but it's not the Air.
No, it's Nike is the answer. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Leah, if you had said Air Jordans, I'd have argued in your favor because that is a Nike brand.
Oh, okay.
All right, heading into halftime, Mr. Mike Mott is in the lead with 70 points. In second place is my lovely wife Leah with 50. Cody's at 40. Maggie has made up some ground. She is sitting at 36 points.
Very nice. All right, your halftime question is presented by Jeffrey, and you're going to get 5 points for each correct answer. Your category is technology.
Fuck.
You're a computer programmer. Shut up.
And your question
I'm not a good one.
Your question. The acronym FANG, F-A-N-G, represents 4 powerful tech stocks in the United States. Name those 4 stocks.
And to be clear, we're looking for the company name.
The company name, not the stock code.
So that's one question, and every letter stands for a different company?
Correct. F-A-N-G, FANG.
Can you read the question one more time? I'm sorry.
The acronym FANG represents 4 powerful tech stocks in the United States.
I will fill the silence and delay my thinking and kind of recalibrate my brain by mentioning that I have poured myself a second beer. This is from the Catawba Brewing Company from Morganton, North Carolina. And it is the Emperor Don's Imperial Public Ale? Jesus, this is only my second beer.
Better than private ale.
Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It's very good. It's very pumpkin-y. I love the Imperial Pumpkin Ales. I like better because they have a little more of the pumpkin-y type of flavor to it.
And not just like the spice.
Yep, exactly. They got that nice spice to it. And I have been searching for pumpkin ales. I finally had to go out of my way to find one here in Bama. They don't apparently like their pumpkin ales too much. But I found one, so I was happy. And it was from North Carolina.
Nice.
And I'm going to come up with a freaking A if it kills me. Oh, fuck.
Oh, you got it.
Locked in.
That's not the F.
He just had a epiphany.
I did. Or as Bob Hoskins would refer to it in Hook, an apostrophe.
This is so hard.
That's what she said? Sorry.
I feel like it's a trick question or something. I know I'm overthinking this, but... Ugh.
There's no such thing. You can only underthink something.
I'm locked in too.
All right, we've got Leah locked. We've got Mike locked. Maggie and Cody.
Cody's locked.
Cody's locked.
Cody's locked.
All right, Maggie, go ahead and discuss it.
Oh, boy. All
Yeah,
right.
Maggie, discuss it.
I am not a tech person. Cody is, so this is decidedly in his favor. And everyone else's that knows tech stuff.
This is like pop tech.
Well, so that's the part that I think I've got the A and the G. I feel like Apple and Google are pretty safe ones. But the F, I put Facebook. And N, I really could not think of it, but I went with Netflix.
We've got Maggie with Facebook, Apple, Netflix, and Google.
Yep.
Okay.
Those are all really good.
They are good.
I wish I had some of those.
You've made me nervous about my A, so.
Leah, what do you got?
I did have Apple and Google as my A and G's. For F, I could not think of anything. So I put Fandango.
That's good.
And for N, I put NASDAQ. Just because I had to come up with something with letters. But so I have Fandango, Apple, Google, NASDAQ.
And Cody, what you got?
I'm kicking myself for not coming up with Apple. I'm not sure
Me
if it's
too.
correct, but I wrote AmeriCorps for A because I couldn't think of anything else. I also came up with Facebook for the F, Google for the G, and I went with News Corps for the N.
Okay. And Mike, what you got?
Well, I have Facebook for F. I actually, Apple, I'm notoriously, weirdly, I don't even have a justifiable explanation for this anti-Apple, so I don't even think about them, but I put Amazon for my A. I put Netflix for my N, and I put Google for my G.
All right. And one of you has the correct answer.
Wow.
The whole correct answer?
The whole correct answer.
Oh, boy.
Which is either me or Maggie. It's the only way it could happen.
And the person that picked up 20 points out of that is Mike Mott.
Oh.
Your answer, Fang, is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google.
I thought Apple was an incredibly good guess. As soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm wrong.
As we head into round 3, we have had a little bit of a shift in our scores. Sitting in first place with 90 points is Mr. Mike Mott. In second place with 55 points is my lovely wife, Leah.
I'm in second place. I got one question right on that one.
In third place, overtaking her husband by 1 point with 51 points is Maggie. And Cody sitting in fourth place with 50. Let's see what happens in round 3.
Round 3, guys. Question number 1 is brought to you by Jason. Your category is television.
Yeah.
In the series finale of The Golden Girls, which one of the girls got married?
25% shot. Rock and roll.
Well, it would help if I knew a name of a golden girl. What are some old people names?
I think it's really a 33% shot. I'm locked in. I'm going with my first gut.
Me too.
All right, Cody, you can talk it on out now.
Did Leah lock in?
Oh, Leah's not locked. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought you locked. Okay, so we got Mike and Maggie locked.
I don't even know any of their names. I'm just thinking about old people and what their names could be.
Just thinking about the old people.
Old people names like Helen and Margaret.
Shut up.
That was my grandmother's name.
That's my
That's my
name.
wife's name.
None of these are ringing a bell.
Yeah, Nikki says as far as grandparents' names, hers are Virginia and Horace, so.
Okay.
She says she wins. I have Edith, Charles, Miriam, and David, so. That's close.
I'm going to throw this out there. The answer is not David.
Yeah, these are females, the Golden Girls.
It's a brave new world, you know.
Locked in.
All right, Leah.
All right,
With the wrong answer.
These are all the names that I can come up with for old people. I've got Ethel, Alice, Betty, Faye,
sweet,
and
merciful.
Maud.
None of the Golden Girls.
No, none of them. Okay, good, because I haven't come up with an answer yet, so I'm going to cross through those. Let me think who else could be.
Leah, may I just say you are wonderful.
Thanks.
I would say she's lovely.
I'm wonderful at listening.
She's that too, but
So there's the tall one. There's Betty White.
There's the hot one, the really hot one.
There's like, I think one that's more like serious.
Chris is dying over there.
I'm thinking it's like the really tall one that's kind of broad and serious and stuff.
The one that did nude modeling earlier in her career.
Maybe I don't know.
yeah, true statement. And you're damn right. I googled that at one point. And by the way, they requested that in the movie Airheads.
That is my favorite shout out to the movie Airheads. I love that movie.
Naked pictures of B. Arthur. Excellent.
A football helmet filled with cottage cheese.
Is it B. Arthur's character? Is that who it is? Is that who I'm thinking of? Is the tall one? But that's the person.
Does that help you at all?
No, I still don't know their names. Xena? Yeah, I'm going to go with Xena, Warrior Princess. I'm going to say that. I'm going to lock in with Xena.
I also had Xena.
And your correct answer is Xena.
Right.
Little known Golden Girl.
The fifth Golden Girl, like the fifth Beatle.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of her name, but the hot one was Fran.
No.
Was it Fran?
What?
No.
There's
No.
no Fran.
Close.
Hold up, there was no hot one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The sexy one. The one that
sexy
was
one.
always fucking around. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't Fran?
Who was the Lucy?
No, it wasn't Fran. Is that your real guess?
This is my sister's favorite TV show.
It's a great show.
My sister would watch
Set in Miami.
like marathons of this when she was 12, 13 years old.
She's very weird, yeah. What's your guess, Cody?
Fran,
Fran.
the hot one.
Okay, and I also guessed the hot one, but her name is Blanche. And I don't think that's the right answer. I'm sure it's probably Rose or something.
It's probably the old one.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what you got?
Maggie, if it helps, between the two of it, we're the only ones that actually wrote down a legitimate Golden Girl. I wrote down, I figured it was probably not Grandmama, whose name I couldn't even remember.
Me neither.
She of Stop or My Mom Will Shoot fame.
Yep.
So I
Estelle
wrote down
Getty.
Blanche, Dorothy, and Rose, which were the other three. And
Oh, good old
ultimately,
people
I
names.
also went with Blanche because I thought, okay, well, she was the quote-unquote slutty one or whatever you want to call it.
It's Rose, isn't it?
But Rose would have been my other guess, but I did write Blanche.
Mike, you lose all street cred by naming 3 of the 4 Golden Girls.
You may win this game, but you have lost all respect.
Yeah.
There are trade-offs in life that are worth it.
And your correct answer is Dorothy. No points there. Question number 2 comes from Jess.
It can only get better.
Your category is festivals.
It can only get worse.
Created in 1991, the Lollapalooza Music Festival was initially created as a farewell tour to his band. What lead singer created the festival?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Oh, crap.
Leah, let's hear it.
All right, Leah.
So a rock band in the early 90s. When did Nirvana die? That guy. Kurt Cobain. That was like 92, 93? I don't know. We saw his grave, or we saw his house and his monument. But I don't feel like that would be it. I don't know what even, I'm just going to say Nirvana.
We need the singer's name.
Oh, Kurt Cobain.
All
That's what I'm
right,
saying.
Cody.
His name is a play on the word peripheral. It's Perry Farrell.
Who the heck is that?
And what band?
Jane's Addiction.
Maggie?
Perry Farrell.
Band.
Oh, the answer has to have the band in it?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
It
I read
doesn't.
it wrong. Just the singer.
Oh, okay.
Mike?
You just say what he said.
I would have guessed Jane's Addiction, but I don't know if that's right.
I don't think I ever caught the peripheral Perry Farrell thing. That's actually pretty clever. Also, I believe of the band Porno for Pyros.
Yes.
But yes, Perry Farrell was the answer that I wrote down.
And
From Jane's Addiction.
Your correct answer is Perry Farrell of Jane's Addiction.
All right.
Good question, Jess. Great question, Jess.
Great question.
All right. Question number 3 comes from one of our favorite Instagram interactors. What do we call followers? Instagram followers?
It's a legendary Austin, man. Come on.
Instagram commenters? This comes from Austin.
We'll get him on the show eventually. We're gonna get him over. We'll drink some bourbon. He'll have a good time.
Well, he did pop trivia with you.
He did.
And your category is products. Joe Pideaux produced the first Chia Pet in 1977, which was called the Chia Guy. In 1982, Chia Pet released its first animal. What was the animal? What animal was it?
Locked in.
So the question is, what kind of animal is the first Chia Pet?
That's correct.
Locked in.
I would just like to update everyone that this bottle of Weller's is half gone. And only 2 people have been drinking it.
I see nap time in your future.
Oh, hardcore nap time is happening.
We're having lunch with your family between 2 and 2:30, so just wanted to let you know that.
Where are we going?
She didn't say. I'm locked in with an incorrect answer because I've heard this question before and I get it wrong every time and I can never remember what the actual answer is. So I'm going to lock in with the same wrong answer I always answer with.
All right, Maggie, go ahead and discuss it.
Oh, man. Okay, so it's a clay thing that gets fluffy, so it's not going to be like a deer or like something skinny. I was thinking initially a dog or cat, but that seems like too easy, too expected. I really have no clue. I'm just going to say cat.
Okay, we got Maggie with a cat. Leah?
I locked in with hedgehog.
And Mike?
Hold on, he's coming back.
Hi, Nikki.
Sorry, I had to break the seal for a second there.
Oh, it's already that point, huh?
I wrote down ram.
And we're waiting for Cody. We're in a holding pattern.
I also went with hedgehog.
Okay. Your correct answer is a ram or a sheep.
What?
Mike, how the hell did you know that so fast?
You know, I was actually trying to figure that out, and Nikki, and I shouldn't call her out on this, but in spite of her claims that she was rooting against me, actually, I do think
she is definitely rooting against you.
Rooting against him, but I did.
But she did pull up random like pop culture trivia, like she just Googled pop culture trivia and asked me some random questions. She says she thinks that's one of the questions because it just immediately popped into my head. So. Near as I can remember, that was probably...
Yeah, how come you didn't train with me before this, Chris?
Did you ask?
Oh, shit. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
All right. Your round 3, question number 4, is coming from Joel. And again, your category is music. Michelle Stevenson may best be known as a founding member of the Spice Girls, who left before the group hit it big. Which Spice Girl replaced Michelle Stevenson in the group?
Do you need to know their name or their Spice Girl name?
I'll take either one.
Because I don't know any of their real names, but I can kind of come up with some Spice Girl names. Let's see.
I have it here in quotations, so I'll take both, I guess.
Paprika.
All right, I'm locked in.
Locked in.
All right.
I'm going to lock in, too, with a guess. And I have logic behind it.
Sure you do.
So, I can talk it out?
Yep.
Okay, I have Posh, Scary, Baby, and Sporty. I can't think of another one.
That was the one I was forgetting.
The last one's like my favorite.
I think Scary's the one with the crazy hair. Baby's the one who always dressed like, almost like inappropriately young. I think Posh might be the famous one who's married to the Beckham, maybe? Or is that the one that I'm missing? I don't know. So I'm thinking if one of these guys were to come in late, which one would they kind of tack on, like... So I'm going to say Posh, because the rest of them end in the Y's. So I'm thinking Posh. That's the one I'm going to go with.
All right, we got Leah with Posh Spice. Cody?
I went with Ginger because I think she's like 20 years older than the other ones. So I'm thinking of, as a late addition, they just grab a woman off the street. Kind of what it looks like.
What are you doing with your life?
Mike?
So, this may be, I don't know, but I went with scary just because I thought maybe they would be like, okay, we need some diversity in this group because we had a bunch of white girls. So that's why I went with scary.
That's a good idea.
All right. And Maggie, what do you got?
I guessed Posh Spice.
Okay. So far, we've got Victoria Beckham guessed twice. I cannot remember Ginger Spice's
Jerry
name.
Hollowell.
Jerry Hollowell. And we've also got Melanie guessed.
Mel
B.
Oh, I put Mel B down, and I was like, is that her real
I didn't
name?
know.
Mel B is Scary Spice. And then Mel
C
is Sporty Spice.
Don't ask me why I know this.
Why do you know this, Chris?
But the one
Because the correct answer is Emma Bunton.
the one that you're looking
Is that
for
Baby?
is Emma Button. Baby Spice.
Only cute one in the group.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Cody's favorite.
Wow.
Baby
So
Spice.
nobody
Creepy.
got points on that one?
No
Not-
points for anyone.
It's not creepy. She's gorgeous.
She's Baby Spice.
That's her
She
name.
dresses up like a baby.
I literally picture her sucking her thumb. That's what I'm picturing.
She's
in
got
my
a
head.
lollipop and
Yeah.
pigtails. Okay.
Can we just take a moment to remember that the Spice Girls actually had a movie?
Yeah.
Spice
The,
World.
the 90s were a
Spice
weird, wild
World.
time. Let's just...
The 90s were weird.
So we, Leah, Chris, myself, and a couple other people just went to Epcot to see 98 Degrees. And 98 Degrees did a cover of Spice Girls of Wannabe, and it was incredible.
Yeah, they did good.
That sounds awesome.
It was
I
awesome.
feel like I should clarify something, Leah. I did like your post about seeing 98 Degrees, but I wanted to let you know that I was liking it because I thought this is something that Leah would enjoy, and I wanted to express my approval of that, not
they
necessarily the
covered,
music specifically.
They covered a Blink-182 song, too, so it was kind of cool.
They did.
Bleak 182 is a boy band,
Was,
too.
was,
so.
was it off of Ranch?
It was all the small things.
And they covered Sugar Ray too.
Oh,
They
yeah,
also did Sugar Ray.
Another boy
I'm
band.
sorry.
And Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, and NSYNC.
All boy bands.
And Britney Spears.
And Britney.
You got to remember that twerk.
Also a boy band.
All right, what's our score update going into round 4?
My score is exactly the same as it was after round 3, just FYI.
All right, your scores heading into round 4. Mike Mott is in first place with 110 points. Making an epic comeback all the way from 4th place to 2nd place is Maggie with 61.
Sweet.
Cody is in 3rd place with 60. And my lovely wife Leah.
Banging her head against the wall.
You know, if we could multiply your points by 2, one for you, one for the baby, you'd be tied with Mike because you have 55 points.
I know.
Also, I don't think we've actually gone official on the podcast yet, but my wife is pregnant, so yeah.
I was going to ask that question when you mentioned it earlier, but I was just like, I'm going to let it slide.
So I should have gone with Baby Spice. That would have made more sense, and then I would have more points.
Considering we're naming our baby, comma Spice. Yes.
Baby Spice Ligori might be the greatest name ever.
So we weren't putting our last names out there, but thanks for that.
Oh, sorry about that. You can edit that later.
All right, round 4 comes from Christopher again. And no surprise, you don't go by Christopher?
I don't remember the question I gave.
You are a bottle of Weller's in, though.
Oh, no, I know what it is. I know. Okay, we're good. We're good.
And no surprise, your category
Movies.
is comic books.
Oh, boy. All right.
Selling 7.1 million copies in 1991. The best-selling comic book of the modern era featured what well-known Marvel Comics superhero team?
I'm going to go out on a limb, but I'm in.
I'm going to phone a friend.
We don't have one of those today.
Chris? Locked in.
Remember, he's drank like a third of that bottle.
I barely remembered writing the question.
Can you repeat it?
Selling 7.1 million copies in 1991, the best-selling comic book of the modern era featured what well-known Marvel Comics superhero team?
You said well-known. Fuck. I do that. That's all right. I've already locked in.
All right, I'm going to lock in.
Oh,
All right, Leah is locked in. Mike, are you locked in?
I am locked in, and I'm going to regret it.
And Cody, you're locked in, right?
I am locked in.
Okay, so I famously missed a very obvious comic book question on my round. Fantastic Four was the answer when I didn't think of that at all.
What did you come up with? Do you remember?
Nothing. I passed.
I think she just passed. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about comic books. It's all limited to what movie trailers I see. And
What in the world are you laughing about?
Yeah, what's going on over there? Chris has got the giggles.
I think he's gonna.
It's the Wellers.
I think he's gonna burst. I really do.
I'm just going to go ahead and say the Avengers because I don't know any other.
Okay.
And you were looking at my Avengers t-shirt that I'm wearing, actually.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, cool.
I didn't realize that at the time.
We've got Maggie locked in with Avengers. Leah, what'd you lock in with?
I was torn between, so I wrote down X-Men, Avengers, and Fantastic Four. But then I remember, like, for some reason I didn't think it was Avengers because I felt like they made it big in the movies. So I was torn between X-Men and Fantastic Four, and I went with X-Men because I feel like they produce more comics that are in the X-Men realm. Like, I see more on the shelves at the stores. So I just assumed that they probably sell more and have, like, a bigger franchise when it comes to comics. So that's what I wrote down. X-Men.
Okay. Cody, what'd you think?
I also wrote down X-Men. I remember them when I was a kid. That was the only comic books I was interested in was the X-Men. And I thought Avengers was too recently popular. So I went with X-Men.
So I'm kicking myself because not right after I wrote this down, but as everybody was saying everything, I was like, suddenly I remembered the Spider-Man Venom team up was huge. But what I wrote was Spider-Man and Wolverine. So I wrote Spider-Man and Wolverine team up.
Your correct answer is X-Men.
Woo!
Oh, nicely done.
So the reason this book was so popular is it was the first time in like 30 years that Marvel had gone back and revamped their X-Men run. They've been running the same storylines, everything for like 30 years. So this coming back and redoing X-Men was insanely popular. Cody's right. The Avengers were never like ultimately huge. People knew them, but they weren't like the big group of Marvel superheroes. Marvel sold off.
They were the B movies.
Marvel sold off all their big comics. They sold off Spider-Man. They sold off the X-Men. So when it came down to them, or they sold off Fantastic Four. When it came down to them making their own movie, they didn't really have another option other than Avengers. And they just did them so well that those movies took off. But X-Men was their big team up for a long time.
I mean, I watched the X-Men TV show.
I played the X-Men
religiously.
video game.
Cartoon, right?
Yeah. Question number 2 in round 4 comes from Scott. Your category is movies. Xenomorphs are sharp-toothed creatures from what science fiction movie series?
Locked in.
Xenomorphs?
Xenomorphs.
Science fiction movie series?
Correct.
Locked in. Best movie of all time.
Best movie of all time. Okay, well, I am not going to get this right. My first thought, I'm just going to go with that because I was thinking, I don't know, like Terminator, stuff like that. Alien. I'm going to go with Terminator.
All right, we've got Maggie with Terminator. Leah, what'd you lock in with?
I said it was the Alien franchise.
Okay, we've got Leah with Alien.
I wasn't sure if I should go with Alien, Aliens, any of that, so I just said the Alien franchise.
Cody?
I think she's right. I wrote down Twilight.
What?
And Mike, what'd you lock with?
Those famous glowing
I don't know what a xenomorph is.
They sparkle.
sparkling xenomorphs.
Sparkly xenomorphs. Mike, what'd you lock with?
Get away from her, you bitch. I definitely wrote down Alien.
It is Alien.
That was, you were almost quoting a Harry Potter quote there.
I should have gone with my first instinct.
It is Alien. The only reason you know that is I love those movies.
Yeah, Chris has made me watch Alien, Aliens. I've seen Prometheus, and I saw the most recent one.
Oh, a bad movie.
Yeah, it was boring.
So this is true. Brief shout out. A buddy of mine back in elementary school was obsessed with the Alien franchise, and so I knew Xenomorph before I had ever seen a single Alien movie.
So I will say this, like one of the first toys that I have for our unborn child, boy, girl, whatever it is a little stuffed and very happy looking face hugger from the Alien
It's not a scary scary one because I just found it the other day in the closet. And I was like, I'm going to put the face hugger in the baby's room because it's really cute.
Question number 3 in round 4 comes from myself. Category is titled, of course it's Harry Potter.
Yes.
Sweet.
I'm going to go ahead and give myself a check mark on this one.
As I sit here in my night bus shirt.
That's some arrogance right there, babe.
Come back. Here's what's happening.
As well known as Harry Potter has gotten around the world, I'm betting you still can't come up with the name of the creature that pulls the carriages at Hogwarts.
Locked in.
You're betting correctly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Headphones off for this one.
I always forget how to pronounce this.
I'm putting an X by this one.
Okay, I'm locked in. I'm going with my instinct.
I can lock in.
Okay, Mike's locked.
Never
Maggie?
seen the movie, never read a book.
I didn't know you knew how to read.
This really bothers me because I love Harry Potter. I've read every book, seen every movie, cried like a baby at the last movie, book, both.
Same.
I know exactly what these things are. They are invisible to everybody who...
No seeums.
Yeah, well, they're invisible to everyone except those who have seen death. Lost someone who died, etc. So, of course, Harry Potter can see them. Luna Lovegood can see them. But no one else can, and I can't remember what they're fucking called. At all.
When
At
more
all.
explicit, let's go.
Shit. I'm just gonna go with Hippogriff because it's not that, and I can't remember the name of it at all.
Maggie locked in with Hippogriff. Leah, what'd you lock in with?
So, I believe they are called Thestrals. I always put the R in the wrong place, so I always want to say Thestrals, but I think the R goes near the end, so I think it's a Thestral.
It's
and that's what I
Thestral,
went to.
yeah.
All right, we got Leah with Thestrals. We've got Cody with what?
Dumbledore and Harry Potter are the only two characters I could name, so I wrote down Dumbledore.
Okay. Dumbledore is pulling every single carriage.
Man, he's got talent.
And Mike Mott, what'd you lock with?
So I've actually seen I've never read the books, I know, but I've seen every single Harry Potter movie. But my official answer was TIL, which is Today I Learned There Were Carriages at Hogwarts.
Okay. And in the beginning of the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh my god.
Right, as soon as she said Luna Lovegood and only the dead could see him, I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's that thing.
In the beginning of the Order of the Phoenix, we learn from Miss Luna Lovegood that those animals are called Thestrals.
Yep, nicely done, Leah.
Good job, Leah.
Well played.
Question number 4 comes from Jeff Gore. In your category is technology.
Boo.
Come on, Jeff, hook me up, buddy.
By the 1980s, VHS has beaten out Betamax for market domination in the video home market. What does VHS stand for?
You told me there were going to be acronyms in this game.
Oh, shit.
That's
But
an
these were not
abbreviation, not an
Or
acronym.
whatever. Yeah, abbreviations. I was trying to guess what they could be, and this was not one of the ones I guessed.
Oh, son of a gun. Oh, man.
Locked in.
Now, I just as a
Cody's
little
laughing.
personal side note, my parents guessed wrong, and they had a Betamax player, and there are actually a couple. There's a couple of old Betamax videos of myself when I was a very, very young lad that we have yet to convert to, well, anything.
Yeah, we had Beta and VHS also. And do we know why VHS overtook Beta?
Yeah, it's the same as Blu-ray versus HD DVD. Excuse me.
Porn.
Oh, really?
Really? So
Yeah.
all the porn companies.
You know what?
went with
I'm going to
VHS?
lock in
They
because
went
I don't
VHS.
think I'm going to come up with anything better than this.
Mike Mott is locked in. Cody, are you locked in?
I'm locked in.
I'm looking into.
Maggie, it's up to you.
Boy. I definitely don't know, so I don't have any interesting commentary. I have...
Never stopped you before.
Shut up.
You only have to beat Cody. You don't have to beat anybody else.
Right.
I don't even think that's in the cards today, so I'm just going to say video home system.
Leah, what you got?
I said the same thing, video home system. I wasn't sure if I was going to go system or systems with an S at the end, but I guess I'm just going to go video home system. And I was pretty sure about the video in the home, but not the system. But I couldn't think of anything else, so I said system.
And Cody?
I also went video home. What I put down for S is not important. So.
What was it?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does. You have to give me the S.
I wrote down stereo.
Okay.
Which isn't that bad, but.
Not a bad guess.
You know.
Not a bad guess.
Pretty good.
Not terrible.
Mike, what you got?
Well, stop me if you've heard this one before, but I wrote video home system.
And your correct answer is video home system.
Yay!
Man, I feel stupid.
What is the score update going into the final round? Chris is doing some numbers real quick.
So going into the final round, your scores are Mike Mott is in the lead with 130 points.
Oof.
My lovely wife Leah has 95 points and is the only person that swept the entire final round.
Yeah, that was in my wheelhouse.
Maggie is in third place with 71. Cody is in fourth with 70. Now, I want to take a second here and just explain how this final round is going to work. The final round is pretty simple. You're going to be given the name of the person that wrote the question along with the category title for 5 different questions. On each question, you can wager between 0 and 20 points. After we read the question and the answer, we'll tabulate your final score, and that person who is in the lead at the end will be your Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown champion. So please write down your wagers as Marissa reads your names and category titles.
Question.
Can we only wager what the points that we have? Or, because I have 95 points, but if I wager 20 on each one, that's 100 points. So I can go into the negatives?
You cannot go into the negatives. You can only wager the points that you have.
Okay. But each question is 0 through 20.
Yes.
So once I run out of points, I can't wager anymore.
Correct. So that's part of your wagering strategy.
Okay.
Are we deciding our wager on all 5 questions before we hear the first one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Oh,
I like that, Mike. Mike doesn't have it so easy now.
Fair enough.
Your first question comes from Jeff T, and the category is sports. Question number 2 comes from Scott, and your category is tabloids. Question number 3 comes from Jess, and your category is beauty pageants. Question number 4 comes from Chris. Your category is liquor. Question number 5 comes from Nikki, and your category is entertainment. All right, again, your categories are sports, tabloids, beauty pageants, liquor, and entertainment. Okay. Question number 1 of your final round is in sports. Starting in 2020, the Oakland Raiders will move east and start playing football in what U.S. city?
God bless it.
I should have bet more.
Should have bet more.
Who's not locked yet?
I'm locked.
I'm
It's
locked.
not how osmosis
I'm sorry, I'm
works.
locked.
All right, Mike, what do you have?
I wrote Las Vegas.
Maggie, what do you have?
I also wrote Las Vegas.
Cody, what do you have?
I wrote Oakland. I know it's wrong.
What?
Thought they moved east from San Fran.
What?
That's the 49ers.
No, they're going to move from Oakland to another city.
What was it?
She repeated it like 4 times.
Starting in 2020, the Oakland Raiders will move east. Move east.
From West Oakland to East Oakland.
I'm sorry, you already
I
locked.
swear I thought I heard 1920.
Cody.
Wow.
Good Lord.
And Leah,
I took a wild guess and put Las Vegas. I'm really glad I did.
your correct answer is Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Question number 2 comes from Scott. Your category is tabloids. Meghan Markle, now known as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is suing what British tabloid for hacking her phone?
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Me too.
Go ahead and talk it out, Cody.
A British tabloid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the ones that you know already. the British.
Page 2.
Write it down if you think that's what it is. I don't know.
I'm writing page 2 down. I don't know any British tabloids. Isn't that the one where they have the boobs?
Yes.
Page 2?
I don't know if they have them on page 2. I don't think page 2 is the name of a tabloid.
Well, it's on page 2, though.
Sure.
Okay.
You have to open it to see the boobs.
We've got page 2 for boobs. We know what he's looking at.
We're all looking at boobs.
That's true. Everyone looks at them. It's okay.
Can't help it.
Leah, what you got?
I also did not know any British tabloids. But I know in the U.S. there's Us Weekly, so I just put Brit Weekly.
Okay. Maggie, what do you got?
Answer. I only know one British tabloid, so I really hope this is it. And I wrote down The Sun.
And Mike Mont?
I wrote Who the Fuck Knows.
Okay. And guess what? Y'all get 0 points.
Aww.
Oh, wait. You get negative points for anyone who
Wagered
anything.
There are boobs on page 2, though.
Okay, great.
So, okay.
And Mike's heading to page 2.
Wait, what's the answer? Do we get to...
Your correct answer is the Daily Mail.
Damn it.
Oh, shit. I actually should have guessed that. Motherfucker. Nope. All right. Anyway.
Question number 3 comes from Jess. And your category is beauty pageants. United States has had 8 women win the Miss Universe pageant, more than any other country. What South American country is in second place with 7 wins?
Locked in.
Locked in.
I'm locked
Cody
in.
knows this. I have not locked in. Okay, so my first thought was Colombia, but then I thought better of it. And I could be wrong, but I'm going to lock in with Brazil.
Okay, we got Maggie with Brazil. Leah, what do you have?
I also said Brazil. I had no idea.
Cody?
It should be Colombia, so that's what I wrote down.
Sofia Vergara.
And Mike, what do you have?
So my initial instinct was Brazil, but spoiler alert, I have 0 wagered on this question. So I decided I was going to give a shout out to my buddy Dan, who had an inexplicable obsession with women from this country and eventually married one. So I wrote down Colombia.
Chris is going to give us the answer on this one.
So if you know Jess, which I do, which is why I included this question because no one here knows Jess as well as I do. Jessica, her family immigrated to the U.S. from the country of Venezuela.
Oh, shit.
All right, question number 4 comes from Chris. Your category is liquor. The famous picture from VJ Day of a World War II sailor kissing a nurse in Times Square is well known across the United States. What bourbon company that is still in operation today can be seen in the background of this picture?
Oh my gosh, you love this picture.
Chris, I
this
love this
poster.
question, and I have no clue what it is, but I love this question.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic question.
Because I was going to get you this poster when we first started dating because you were like obsessed with the poster.
Come to find out, apparently the woman in the picture did not consent to the kiss.
No, not at all.
It's-
no,
it's
it was
totally-
literally-
it's-
he randomly grabbed a guy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
girl.
not good.
No, it's yeah.
It's like
It does
on a
not hold up in
billboard
the Me Too era
in
at
the
all.
background. Like, where is it in the background of the photo?
So the picture itself is from Times Square.
Yeah.
So there's a neon
Okay, so it's
sign
on a
in the
sign.
background for a bourbon company. This bourbon company is still in operation today.
Okay. So I just got to think of a bourbon.
And let me throw this out there, being that we are drinking Weller's, it is not Weller's.
It is not Weller's, yeah. I'm locked in.
I am locked in with the wrong answer.
I was going to give a hint there, but I'm not going to give it now.
Remember, we're talking bourbon, not whiskey and not scotch.
Very important point. Oh shit! I want to change. Is it too late to change my guess?
Locked.
It is because I'm locked in, right?
Yeah, you're already locked in.
I think I'm going to end up with 0 points.
I'm locked in.
Oh, okay. Leah's locked. Maggie, you can discuss it if you'd like.
Well, we are a bourbon drinking family in our family, and so that's the only reason I know the names of any bourbons. But I can't think of one that's been around for a while. I can't think of one that would have a location in Times Square back then.
Well, it's not a location. It's just a sign.
Oh, it's just a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. Then I'm gonna go. I was thinking Whistle Pig. I don't even know if that's a real bourbon. I'm just gonna say Four Roses.
Okay, we've got Maggie locked in with 4 roses. Leah, what do you have?
I can only think of 2 for whatever reason. I just have like pregnancy brain. And I had 4 Roses or Bullet, and I went with 4 Roses because it was more romantic-y, and it was a picture of them kissing in the picture, so I was like, Yeah, that makes sense if you do with
Because
the romance.
they definitely plan that out, right? They're going to kiss in front of 4 roses.
I didn't know, and I could only come up with the 2, so I was like, okay, 4 roses makes sense, and yeah.
All right, Cody, would you lock in with?
I wasn't sure. I had a lot of names in my head, but thinking of, was it VE Day or VJ Day or?
It was VJ Day.
Okay, so I went with the military in mind and went with Colonel Taylor.
All right, Mike, what do you got?
So, I could be wrong. I think y'all are going way too sophisticated. I wrote down Jim Beam, and then immediately after locking in with it, I went, it might be Maker's Mark, but I wrote down Jim Beam.
Jim Beam was what I wrote down originally.
That was one that I was thinking of. I said Jameson instead, but...
Well, Jameson's not a bourbon.
That's what I said. When I was making my list, I wrote down Jameson, and I was like, that's not right. But I was like, but I think it starts with a J. But that's the one I was thinking of.
All right, 2 of you pick up points with the answer of 4 roses.
Wow, that's awesome. Good job, guys.
Your last question of the day comes from Nikki, and your category is entertainment.
In my head, she's doing an evil dance behind Mike Mott right now.
I can see it.
Oh, she's just doing more of a silent cackle.
Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari, is also the founder of what popular family-friendly sit-down restaurant? Don't worry, for the parents, they do serve beer to deal with all the noise.
You want to know what's hilarious about this? This morning, on the way to take my daughter to her swim class, I learned that Nolan Bushnell was the founder of Atari. I'm not even kidding. I literally learned that 2 hours ago.
Did you know what else he was the founder of?
Nope, it didn't come up.
Locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Family-friendly sit-down restaurant.
I know, that's what I'm having trouble with, too.
Don't worry, they have beer.
Locked in.
All right, I'm locked in.
Maggie, you can talk it out.
Yeah, I was between Chuck E. Cheese and Dave & Buster's. Ultimately, I don't think of either of them as restaurants, so that messed me up. Like, it's just an arcade place.
You know what a restaurant is, right?
Like, they serve food, but it's not a family-friendly sit-down restaurant. Like, a sit-down... like, that just totally spun me around. I just ended up locking in with Dave & Buster's.
Okay, we've got Maggie with Dave & Buster's. Leah?
Yeah, I had no idea. I just said Chuck E. Cheese because I feel like they serve beer there, but I've not been to one since I was like 4 or 5, probably. I just said Chuck E. Cheese.
All right, Cody?
I scratched out Chuck E. Cheese and wrote down Dave & Buster's.
Okay, Mike?
I wrote Chuck E. Cheese.
And your correct answer is the mouse himself, Chuck E. Cheese.
Damn it.
Yes.
All right. Here are your final scores. Living up to his name and betting the max that he could with 0 points, losing 70 points in the final round is Mr. Cody.
Good job, Cody.
Woo! Finishing with 41 points, coming in 3rd place, is his amazing wife, Miss Maggie.
Yay, good job.
That was a rough final round. Let's just be real.
I thought it was 46, but I'm terrible at math. So. Oh, wait. Yeah. No, you're right. Sorry.
Coming in 2nd place is my lovely wife, Leah, with 120 points.
Woo.
And your Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown champion is our one and only Mr. Mike Mott with 140 points.
Oh, that was closer than I thought it was going to be.
That was close. No, Leah, in that last round, I was like, she's coming for me.
I wish if I had known the questions ahead of time, like, because that's what's hard. I mean, for the last question, because there were some that I was more confident on. I was like, why did I only wager 5 points for this one on the final round? But it's because you don't know the questions.
Nikki was chastising me for only wagering 10 on the sports question. She's like, why did you only wager 10? I'm like, because it might be a basketball question. I don't know.
And I only wagered 5 on the sports one and got it right. And I was like, I should have had more confidence in myself.
Right. Exactly.
I want to apologize to everybody else that's ever played this game.
Dude, you finished in the top 4. That's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you still finished in the top 4.
And like, listen, I'll be someone who finished in the 5th or 6th, depending on how you look at it. I figure 6 because Nikki is smarter than me.
Yep.
See, no one argues that. You know a lot more about pop culture than I do. Now, if this is geography,
Always with the geography. Always.
or movies,
What's the capital of Djibouti?
Djibouti City.
Is that right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Djibouti.
The capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. Yeah.
All right.
I learned that in 8th grade.
I learned that from the commercial.
So, Maggie, I got your trophy here. I'll be sending you your trophy via priority mail on Monday morning. Monday at some point. With all that being said, Mr. Mike Ma is your winner of the Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown. Mike.
Congratulations, Mike.
He'll never let anyone forget it.
No.
Thank you.
Mike, what words do you have for your loyal subjects?
What's that? What words do I have? So, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second.
Well, that's good. Then you'll be the height of the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, honestly, still not. Let's be real. No, I actually, the one thing that comes to my head, honestly, and like I said, this is a real soapbox moment. You can edit out if you want. Nick, as I mentioned earlier, Nikki did do some pop culture trivia quizzing of me. And one of the questions that came up was, name the Kardashian sisters from oldest to youngest.
Wow.
And without hesitation, I said Kourtney, Kim, and Khloe, and then hated myself. Why the fuck do I know that? Right? And so what I'm getting on my soapbox to say is, pop culture's fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, pop culture's cool. It's fun to have all this random knowledge about random stuff, but pay attention to shit that actually matters in the real world. That's all I want to say. Like, you can know about the Kardashians, even though they are bullshit.
Or the
Know
Golden
them.
Girls.
That's fine. Know them, but know actual things too. That's all. That's really all I wanted to say. And I am going to be completely honored to accept the trophy. I will display it proudly on the shelf once I eventually mount it in my office in Alabama. I look forward to defending my title in the upcoming years, and that'll be fun. So this was a blast. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed listening to everybody else's podcasts. I enjoyed doing this. This is so much fun. You know, it's all fun. I want to keep doing it. This is great.
So, for those of you that aren't aware, we are coming up on 1 year of the Pub Trivia Experience podcast. I think, Mike, it's around the 1 year mark when we... What the hell was that?
Sorry, I'm ripping my paper.
Good drive-by.
I'm not being sentimental at all here. It's okay. But we are coming up on the 1 year mark of the inaugural recording of the Pub Trivia Experience. So this kind of seems fitting to me that Mike is our Pop Culture Trivia Throwdown winner. After this episode, we are rolling into what we're calling season 2 of the Pub Trivia Experience. We have been fortunate enough to grow in friends and contributors to the Pub Trivia Experience. We have Cody, we have Maggie who are going to be involved here on out because they are a damn blast to have on. They had a
it was a lot of fun.
Did you guys have fun today?
So much fun. Yes.
Cody, did you have fun today?
Loser. What do you think, loser? Feel good? Feel drunk? You gonna take a nap?
Like, to me, it's absolutely amazing that this whole podcast started over a conversation with Mike Mott at a bar over a year ago.
Yep.
I am blessed as hell to say that we've got Marissa and Jeff on as contributors, and more than just contributors. They're helping run the social media and our website. So pubtriviaexperience.com is open. You can go there. My lovely wife, Leah, a lot has changed in the last year. We've got a lot going on. But thank you for being my partner through thick and thin. Steven out in Dallas, Texas. Even though your girlfriend has now moved up to Dallas with you and you have become less responsive to text messages, it's been fun. Jess and Jason, we're looking forward to horror movie trivia. All this to say, coming up in season 2, we've got a lot more for you. We've got an updated look at our artwork.
And an updated lurk. It's going to lurk differently.
The Stanley Kubrick variation of Psycho is on its way.
I hate you. I did not forget what you did to me last week.
I enjoyed every second of it. I'm glad you did too.
Oh, man. With all that being said, for the pub trivia experience, I have been Chris.
Maggie?
Leah?
I've been Cody.
I'm Marissa, and Maggie did have 46 points.
Thank you. Woohoo.
I've been Mike. Abby, say hi. Say hi.
For the pub trivia experience for season 1, this has been a great time. Enjoy us. Follow us. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a rate. Subscribe. If you have any questions or any concerns, or if you want to be a part of the pub trivia experience going forward, email us. pubtriviaexperience@gmail.com. Have a great week, everyone.
I've never seen Aliens. Or Alien or Aliens.
Both.
So Alien, the first one is a horror movie. It's a straight horror movie. Aliens might be the best action movie ever made.
I played Alien vs. Predator on
Yeah.
Sega Genesis.
Well, the alien from Alien vs. Predators from the Alien franchise.
Yeah, the Xenomorph from you. But Aliens with the Alien Queen, that might be the best action movie ever made. I know.
It's pretty fantastic.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. That movie is really good.
We have the pop figurines at home, too.
We have...
Is that H.R. Geiger? Is that the guy that did Alien or no?
It sounds right.
No, Ridley Scott did it.
Well,
I mean, Ridley Scott did the first one. James Cameron did the second one in terms of direction.
Who did the third one?
David Fincher.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay, that's deeper than I
I'm
was.
in way over my head here.
Yeah.
Those are some deep cuts, Mike. Nicely done.
You mean it wasn't
My
Stanley
ha-
Kubrick?
You shut up.
Yes! Yes!